Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Shade and the
Shady in the
City.
City.
I am your girl, Treese.
It's Nels.
And today we are here to give you our recap of the Braxtons. Let's stand corrected, not the Braxton family values, the Braxtons, okay? Season 1, episode 1. Do we know the name of this episode? I
The
didn't get
Braxtons are back.
the Braxtons are back, and yes, they are. So yeah, y'all, all of our new viewers and our Shade Squad, y'all know what to do. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all know, as I told Nels, for me, I cried through this whole episode, so I did not go back and watch again to get notes. So clearly Nels was able to hold it together. So I'm just gonna blame it on my emotional Pisces ass as usual. Because yeah, I cried through the whole episode. It traumatized me, so I couldn't watch it again. But I'm happy the Braxtons are back and we're here to review it. So let's get into it. I don't know if we need to be shady, but we'll review the episode.
All right. So let's get started. We start off with Trina. She's in the
Yes.
kitchen making some beef chorizo. I wonder if she learned this
Before
from
you get started, and this
what?
is I'm not trying to be divisive at all. Just a random question. Who is your favorite sister?
Tamar. I thought you knew
Well,
that.
of course you're gonna love a Pisces,
I
but
thought you knew that.
I didn't. I'm gonna be honest. My favorite is Trina. I've always gravitated towards Trina. Maybe because I feel like she's not like the oddball out, but she's just like they're gonna talk about her, they're gonna poke fun at her, but I don't know. I enjoy her. I enjoy her realness. I enjoy, she'll cuss a bitch out, but she's
You know,
funny.
you know
Like,
what it is for Trina, for me? The way she says certain things.
oh, her it's so funny. So everybody talks about this accent that she's
It
developed.
bothers me. It bothers me. It
It's
bothers me.
something, it's something that she says in particular. Um, but I don't know, when she says certain words, you hear it.
Yeah.
Now, I did hear the street. I did hear, I keep my ear to the streets. I did hear that maybe she spent some time in Canada or something like that. So they're saying, but
I
they
knew
were like,
plenty of Canadians, and they didn't sound like
but
Trina.
I would actually expect her to sound more like somebody from Prince George's County. If you ask me, I would expect her to sound like somebody from Maryland. That's what
She
I would
was
expect.
literally. I think I would like her more if I could just see her and not hear her.
If you could just not hear her
Yeah, if
like
she
that.
was seen and not heard, because when she talks, the no and the I don't know.
No, yeah.
I just can't. I can't. I'd be like, oh my god, just I can't do it. I can't stand to hear her talk. So no, she's far from my favorite.
Oh, you're terrible.
Yeah. But yeah, so she's in the kitchen making some beef chorizo. I wonder if this like a dish that she learned, when she was with her ex. Um,
Oh, because Gabe is Spanish. Okay.
yeah, but I wasn't trying to be
Well,
shady.
no, I was just saying because if y'all don't know Shade Squad, that Trina, if y'all go follow Trina on YouTube, she actually had like her and Vaughn, is that his name?
Fun, yes.
Her and Vaughn actually do like this little cooking show and do little
Does
things.
he actually cook? Because it was given he's just in there just to get on her nerves.
Well, yeah, but that's what a lot of their show is.
Oh, so she's really cooking and
It's
he's
him,
just
it's him
supervised.
getting on her nerves, yeah, and her
Um,
cooking. Yeah.
so yeah, that's exactly what he was doing, bugging the hell out of her, asking her when the food was gonna be ready, what we gonna eat it with. She was like, "Sir, it is dip. Okay, like just leave me alone. Let me do what I do." Apparently, they've been married for 5 whole years. I didn't realize it's been that long. But she says she is still in love with this man, like the day they got married. Then they showed a clip of Tracy slipping on her long pants. I actually remember that clip. While she was carrying Trina's train. Um, and she was like, you know what? I had to make a choice. I couldn't, hold up my pants and hold Trina's dress. And it was my sister's wedding. So down I
A lot of
go.
people on X was a little upset that they decided to show that clip. But and I didn't know, I'm gonna be honest. Oh, I'm gonna be honest. I thought, maybe y'all are being a little too sensitive because that to me, I actually laughed because I remember that moment. I remember watching that moment, and it was funny. It was funny when it happened. I get it. Tracy's passed, and so it's like, oh, why would you show a moment that kind of like, I guess, kind of made her look bad, or like, and I didn't think that, but I do
I
know
didn't
people.
think it made her look bad.
I didn't think so
I,
either, but
I, I, I
people
thought it
felt
was
the
actually
way
kind
that
of
they
dope because
decided.
she was basically saying like I had to make the choice whether
Right.
I was gonna let my sister make an
And
ass
then
out
did
of
you hear her
herself.
after? She was like, I swear I ain't had nothing to drink.
Yeah, I didn't.
I thought it was funny, but I will. I'm just telling y'all, Twitter's because I was on live tweeting after Love After Lockup, and so a few people felt like that was just in poor
But
judgment.
guess what? If Trina would have tripped in her dress and Tracy would have stayed 10 toes down,
Right,
then it would have been all her fault because she wasn't holding her dress.
right,
That would have made her look bad.
yeah, no, that would.
Anyways, Trina said, she's a little bit leery about doing the show. She thought after losing Tracy, they would all get closer, but that's not really what happened. She thinks that it will be a little bit awkward doing the show with everybody. But she is going to be meeting up with her sisters and her mom for dinner. She says that, they have been keeping in touch with little Kevin because that's her only child, and he had a super strong bond with his mom. That was his best friend. Now she feels this is the most detrimental thing that he's been through in his entire life. Trina feels like he basically lost both his parents because he doesn't even really talk to his dad like that because his dad kind of shut down due to grieving
I thought
and
this was super sad.
the loss of his mother. And we know nobody really messed with Trina's husband like that. I'm
You
sorry
mean Tracy's husband? Yeah.
that it's the tease, man. It's the tease. Um, but nobody really messed with Tracy's husband like that because like his infidelity issues and stuff like that in the past. She didn't take the time to bash him, which I am glad about. But she was like, we, whether we like him or
Well,
not,
even right, but even worse, I just think that on his side of things, and I don't know if maybe I don't know. I just think it's sad because obviously you need so in that situation you may need to lean on someone, and of course you want to lean on the one living parent. And I just think it's crazy. But I understand people grieve differently, but I just think it's crazy that he can't be there for his son during this time.
yeah,
Granted, he's a little bit older, but I don't know. And again, shout out to Trina and the other sisters for not like bashing him, but I to her point, I would expect more. I wouldn't allow that to be an excuse.
yeah. Now, apparently, Tony is supposed to be making an announcement at the dinner, which has Trina feeling super nervous.
Right.
So the ladies did meet up for dinner. Tawanda's running late, so Tony said she's gonna be the one paying for the dinner. Okay, because Trina said I ain't got it to do. Y'all always get me like this, and I ain't doing it this time. Um,
I ain't mad at it. Look, at least we ain't got to worry about when the bill come out and people
they
trying to
they
divide
announced it
what's
ahead of time. They
theirs.
said, "Look, Trina came in. Who doing this? So I
Right.
do it all the time. Y'all always get me. I ain't doing it this time." Okay. Tony said that she kind of feels like she's out the loop because she's been bi-coastal between LA and Atlanta, but more so LA because she's been rehearsing for her new show in Las Vegas called Love and Laughter. She said the last show that she had in Vegas was about 15 years ago when she was having chest pains, and that's when she was diagnosed with lupus.
Right.
And now she's nervous because she has another health scare to let her sisters know about. And she says they do know that she had to get a stent put in her heart, but they didn't know all the details
Like to the
of
extent.
that exactly. But she's really nervous, especially after everything with Tracy, and doesn't want to get anybody like riled up. So she's actually even second guessing telling them what's going on. Um, they want to know about this girl's love life, and I did too. Of course, we know she ain't really get into it much. She was like, "Listen, I'm not married and I'm not engaged, so we just gonna leave it at that." Look and see, this is why Tamar's my favorite. She was like, "So what you saying? You got a boyfriend?
Mm.
Do you could are you single?" And she was like, I mean, basically, more or less.
It sounds like a situationship to me. It sounds,
And it sounded like she's still messing with him. It sounded like it's still
but
Birdman.
that's what I'm saying. They like, I think they cuddy buddies. If you ask me, I think that they. I don't want to say cuddy
It
buddies
looked like she still got the
because
ring
cuddy
though.
buddies implies that that's all you do. I think that they probably sit down, have a good dinner from time, and then he might, break her back. I think that that's what happens. So I guess that would be a
You
situation.
think you think he breaking her back?
I'm not here to judge Birdman's penis. I don't want to. I don't
His
want to.
back breaking skills.
I don't. It. I don't even want to think picture to even give you a answer to that. So I can't answer that because I don't want to go that deep in my mind. I don't.
I'm gonna leave it alone. Then Tawanda gets there, and this so made me think of me and you. She's twinning with Trina. They got on the same exact outfit. They didn't think about it. They didn't talk about it. They ain't.
Yeah.
I always get no. Usually I'm dressed first. Don't do
When
that.
she says this, it's because I put on my clothes and then here she come.
No, no. I'm usually dressed first. I'm usually dressed first, and then she get on camera like, "You want to be like me, girl? I been had this, been this way, okay." She be so full of it.
Y'all
She's
know
so.
I'm the little sister, right? I just keep reminding y'all.
That's why. That's why you be following your big sister.
No, but she be wanting to dress like me. That's what is the most hilarious thing ever. I love it.
The
I
big
love
the big sister is much more stylish. Okay, the big sister don't be trying to dress like the little sister. Okay. Um. So then, Tony said, this is like a silly moment that just reminds her of all the silly moments that Tracy would create, and they played like some clips of Tracy's silly moments. Did Twitter have a problem with this? Did this make her look bad?
no, no.
Oh, okay. So then they probably had a problem with this. Tony says she feels like there's a seat missing. Okay. And she said that basically she was referring to a seat that was empty that had purses in it. And she said Tracy's holding their purses. I didn't think
It was just bad timing. It was just
looking at Tamar's face, I don't think Tamar liked it. She didn't smile. She didn't, there was not it at all, like nothing. And she just trying to change the subject.
it was just bad. I think we touched on this briefly, but it was just bad timing. First of all, because of how we left off last season and or the last time we saw them when Tracy was on the show and how she had already said like she just wanted to be seen, she wanted to be heard and felt like she was like their do girl. And then I know Tony probably I feel wholeheartedly sure she didn't mean it that way, but
Mhm.
when she said it and how they left off, it was just bad timing. It was really bad timing for her to say that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because Tamar is a EP this season on this particular. So I'm surprised she let it. I'm surprised she let it fly, and it didn't get edited out.
Mhm. So then they start discussing when Tracy let them know of her cancer diagnosis. Um, they all just kind of said like it was hard for them to digest it and hard for them to believe. Really, it's still hard for them to believe. Tony said she really couldn't believe it because, she was the one that was sick, not Tracy. And we
Right.
know Tony's been suffering with health issues
Lupus
for
and
a long
yeah.
time. Tamar suggested that they all do grief management. Mama Ed feels that Trina might need extensive counseling because she was the one that was there when Tracy took her last breath. Apparently, Tracy loved hummingbirds, and she asked the sisters to take her along with them on her journey and to wear hummingbird necklaces. So they all carry Tracy around. Trina said the only time she take her necklace off is when she's having some alone time with Vaughn, and that's understandable. She don't want her sister
Right.
there for that, and I can understand that. So yeah. Then Tawanda mentioned that little Kevin was going through a divorce, and Tamar is like, she's taken aback because she's like, I see this boy all the time. We always get together and catch up, and he ain't said nothing.
You know who wasn't? Who was shocked?
You said who was shocked?
Hmm.
Who?
And I hate to say it, it just maybe she's worried about herself and her health. Maybe she's worried about this tour. But the fact that I feel like now Tamar didn't know, and I can understand her surprise. But the fact that Tony was just like so not in the loop, not knowing anything, it was like, do you ever talk to your nephew? Do you ever
Well,
reach
she
out?
even said that she hadn't talked to Tamar in like a few weeks. Like she said, like she's been out the loop.
Mm. Well,
So, and now basically, so they know, like this news will break Trina's heart, basically. Don't I keep on saying Tracy's heart? Jesus
yeah.
Christ. Which then makes Trina emotional. But she jumped out of that real quick when Tamar tried to touch her plate. I thought that was hilarious.
Yes, no, I loved one thing I will say is every time I started to cry about something, there was always some sense of comedic relief, which usually Tracy gave us.
Mhm.
And so I'm glad that they kept that element of it. And I think somebody even spoke to that during the episode. Like anytime anything gets too tough, somebody like says something or makes a joke and it kind of lightens the mood of everything.
That's probably why I didn't get emotional.
Right, right,
Um, it was funny. She was like, "Is that she?" She said, "Oh, girl, I mean, digging all in my plate, girl. What's wrong?" I
right.
thought it was hilarious. So,
I
then,
feel her. I feel her.
yeah, you feel that way, but you be leaving all types of stuff on your plate, ready for
Yeah.
ready for the taking. So, Trina said that she's ready to hear Tony's news. Tony said that she went to the doctor and didn't realize that she was having surgery. They told her that they needed to look inside her heart. She said if she had if the heart attack had happened, they caught it before it did happen, and it's something that she wouldn't have survived. Now, the doctors basically told her that Tracy was watching over her, and even though she got the stent, she's going to need a bypass surgery. She gets super emotional because it's scary, and she's worried about if something were to happen to her, what's going to
Right.
happen to her kids. And her sisters tell her to speak it. Um, tell her you speak it so it will come, and tell her to demand it to leave, and it will leave. So Tawanda points to her vagina while saying it. I said, "Girl, if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it." Apparently, she's been using it. Okay, she just ain't married. She just ain't married yet. Okay, and they're realizing that they all needed this get together and time together. So then Trina and Tawanda meet up. Tawanda let her know that she ordered her a drink, and Trina said today is her last day, and after this, she is on a hiatus because she needs a flat stomach.
Don't do that.
I'm,
Don't look at
I'm,
me.
I'm gonna leave that one right there. Um,
I'm
she's
still on a journey. I'm still on a
Oh,
journey.
I wasn't referring to you. I was just wondering how many times we heard this. She said
Oh, you're
there's
terrible. Oh, you. I think you were the one that told me that she or made me remember that she had a drinking problem.
mhm.
I really that honestly, I don't know why I keep forgetting that because I guess I didn't see it as a drinking problem, but I guess that like she never caught
Because
no
we're
drink.
watching it on TV. But if her sisters and her family and close friends say that she has a drinking problem, she's got a drinking problem, and she's agreed. I mean, and we saw her being a lush a couple times. So,
Y'all go leave my good girl trainer alone, but go ahead.
she said that they're super close because they both live in Georgia. Tawanda said she was getting messages about whether she was sick or not, and she said basically they were all supposed to cut off their hair. Trina said, "Girl, I can't cut my hair. I got a round face like mommy."
Hmm.
Tawanda a different type of Virgo because I wouldn't have just laughed that off. But Tawanda did admit, I guess one of the reasons she cut her hair off is because she's been suffering with alopecia.
I
And
thought it was
initially
sad. I cried again too when they showed the
about
video.
alopecia,
Huh?
about her cutting her hair because of alopecia.
No, but when they showed a video of Tracy
Oh, rubbing her head.
Her
Okay.
hair, yeah, I cried
Um,
at that point too. It was a cry fest. That's why I was like, y'all, I'm here for the Braxtons, but as far as reviewing it, I don't know how much I can give y'all because if I gotta watch it a few times and I gotta cry every episode, I don't know
no,
what I'm
you're
gonna do
just
to give
supposed
you.
to take notes the first time you watch it.
Well, it's when it's live and you're live tweeting. There's a lot of things going
You-
on. There's
mm-mm,
a lot of things going
mm-mm. She says that she did admit that she has alopecia, and initially she was worried about the world knowing, but she's in a space where you accept her, or you don't. And then they show a clip of Tracy rubbing Tawana's head, like Tree says, and where she had patches of her hair missing, and
It was pretty
I,
bad. I didn't.
I wouldn't even say that to me. I guess I didn't see it as a sad moment. I just thought it was dope, like because she's the one that's sick and going through things, and she's trying to comfort you.
Mhm.
So I didn't see it as, I guess, as a sad moment. I thought
I
it
guess
was
I
kind of.
saw it as sad is because Tracy used to be the one to do all her hair. Remember, that's why she wanted to stay
Mhm,
in Maryland. Remember, that was
mhm.
her whole thing is being in the hair business. So it was like, I don't know, it was just you know what I mean? Sad to be like, oh, you're losing hair, and the person that used to do your hair is like, just being nurturing to you when they're going through so much. It just made my emotional Pisces ass emotional. Okay,
Then little Kevin was on Trina's heart, and they decided to give him a call.
I
So they
love
get
this. I love that they did this.
on, so
This
they
is the
get on
foundation.
FaceTime and notice that his hair looks nice, and apparently his wife did it. Um, he said, yeah, it's a very confusing situation because she's the one that filed, but really she don't know the hell she want to do. She don't know if she want a divorce or not. Tawana believes the Tawanda believes the death of Tracy is really what affected their marriage. And Tawanda let him know that, they all met the night before, and feel that they should do grief counseling. And it's something that he agreed to.
Whatever
Hmm.
happened to Tawanda's um I don't want to say ain't ish
Oh,
husband, but
husband, they're divorced.
both her and Trina had husbands that weren't. I mean, let's just be real. All of
They
them.
got a divorce, but then I thought she was dating somebody else.
Okay, I think she is dating somebody else, but I just didn't know. So they did get divorced.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
I wonder what happened to the other dude though.
I think they ended up getting. I feel like they're gonna get engaged this season.
Oh, okay. All right. Um,
Oh,
so
I know what you're talking about. She was dating somebody else after Andre, and I don't
mhm.
think they worked out. Or I feel like she's to your point. I think she's dating somebody new, but I think they are engaged. Whoever the new guy is.
Okay.
I feel like
Okay.
I know who you're talking about, and I just can't remember. But she was dating somebody else.
Okay. So everybody's meeting up at Tony's house for the grief counseling. And it's the week of Tracy's 2-year anniversary of her passing. Mama Ev and Trina are making Tracy's favorite dishes. And she's invited a therapist named Spirit,
She
which is
having
someone
oxtail.
that, yeah. Which is Spirit is somebody that's helped her in the past. Tawanda gave Tony a call to do a temperature check, and Tony said, it's hard to live with a broken heart, so hopefully the therapist can unbreak their hearts. She knew it was corny when she said it, but she still said it anyway. That
It
that makes
was
it
so
even
cliche.
corny.
It was so cliche. I was like, really, Tony?
Tawana was like, "Did you really just add your song in there?" She was like, "No, it wasn't. I didn't mean my version."
Shameless plug.
The way she ran down, what was it, laugh and love and laughter or something too, with Cedric the Entertainer in Vegas. I was like, okay, we didn't really need to know all that, girl. You doing a
Right,
show in Vegas? That's great. You're back working.
right.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Tony goes to the house. Oh no, I'm sorry. This clearly my phone didn't realize who I was talking about. Tamar gets to the house and said, she's there for moral support because she's been through all types of therapy. Okay, all types of counseling. She's done it all. So she's there to be a helping hand. Trina said that the grief counseling is different than all other types of counseling. So basically, you can benefit from this too. She said that she's known Spirit for a lot of years. Her first conversation with her was about 5 years ago when Gabe passed away. And she said it was very helpful, but she just wasn't ready. Trina went to go change into, I guess, an outfit that Tracy had given her. Then it was so funny. I don't know why, but when Spirit got there, the ladies rushed to the living room to go sit down, like they was getting ready for class. They
I love
like
that though, but that's why I was telling you I love the behind the scene, and it was more than once, but it was definitely this particular scene that I love when they actually show you them like behind the scenes, and they're like, okay, everybody get in your places, and then they're like, Trina, you're gonna walk in, and I like being able to see that like production side of thing because we
Mhm.
know how they cut it. They just show us one way, and it was like, no, this is it, and we stopped everything, and that's why Tony was like, we're not in class, y'all. Just
Yeah, she was like, "Why are we rushing?"
right, right.
So all the ladies sat down on the couch while Michael, their dad, was on Zoom, as well as Kevin Jr.
Right.
Spirit got there and she said she wanted to start it with Trina. She wanted to start with Trina because she's the one that called, and she wanted to know what she needed help with. Trina said she didn't want to go first because she's not ready to say how she feels yet. Tony said it's clear that they're all nervous and they're not the best communicators, but there's nothing good to come from holding your feelings in. So she feels this is still something that they need to do. Now, the therapist tried to get someone else to speak up, and really nobody volunteered. And the therapist let them know, listen, I can't help you if you don't make clear what the problem is for us to talk about. And they just kind of cut it right there. But I think it is going to be a lot for them to get out their emotions, get out how they feel. Because I feel like even in past therapy
I think
sessions, when they
I
didn't
think
when they didn't lose anybody, it was hard for them to speak.
I think Trina's angry. You know how they say when you go through just anything like loss of a relationship, loss of a person, whatever, like you go through different stages of like
Mhm.
your anger, and then you know what I mean, and then you get to a place where you can just deal. But I think right now she's in her angry stage, and I don't know because they said she was with Tracy when she took her last breath,
Mhm.
but it seems like, and I don't know how hands on Kevin Senior or Kevin Junior were during, you know what I mean, obviously her condition taking over, but I don't know, to me I got the vibe that like Trina was there like kind of taking care of her, not saying nobody else wasn't, but
Mhm.
I I don't know, just the way she was sitting on that
You
couch
mean
like
out of her sisters?
the way
Mhm.
she was sitting on that couch simmering gave me that vibe. Like she has probably something. I, mean, I might be reaching y'all, and y'all can correct me in the comments, but it just gave me the vibe that she might be simmering because maybe Tamar wasn't as involved, maybe Tony wasn't as involved, and I mean, obviously we saw Tawanda, but we don't really know. And I think maybe she was the one that was probably by her side and having to watch her decline. And I think obviously that did a lot to her because we know she just got over Gabe's thing, and then to have to go through it with her sister and not sharing that like those experience where you know what I mean. I think
Mhm.
she's simmering. I think she's sitting on a pot and she's simmering. That's when she was sitting on that couch. That's what that gave me.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So,
think you may be correct, girl.
but I don't know, y'all. Y'all drop down in the comments. Let us know what y'all thought about this first episode and the return of the Braxton ladies. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button.
Make sure you comment
Make sure you subscribe.
and hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. And yeah, y'all, we will catch you next week. Look, I say that, and then I never post up our, the lovely thing that I made. But yeah, make sure you follow us on all platforms. If you're feeling, friendly, you please donate to the collection plate at the Cashapp, the Shade in the City. And or you can always again subscribe, and that's free 99. But yeah, y'all, we will catch you next week for another recap of the Braxtons. Have a good night.